earth and sea. I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, oh, the cauldron cries, it singeth unto me. The songs of Mother Goddess and the Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Hello, hello. Burr. We are being broadcast live tonight on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, and also in on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up there, YouTube world, the like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Thank you, thank you. And no matter how you are listening, make sure you stop in and say hello in one of the chat rooms. Just a quickie hi. Or send me an email at wildpaisley@gmail.com, and that's WILDEPAISLEY@gmail.com. You can also connect with me by going to www.paisleywild.com. If you want to support the show, you can do that too. Either check out the store at the website, Paisley Wild, or you can go to etsy.com/Monarch Mountain Studios, MTN for mountain, or you can go to patreon.com/TheSpacesBetween. Or if you just want to support my radio habit, that would be fab too. It is $TheSpacesBetween. Let's see, the phone line is open tonight. That number is 213-233-3998. Or if you're across the pond in the UK, it's 44203-393-2871. Chat room is making me giggle already. Apparently, somebody doesn't like me. Oh, whoa. Woe is me. Oh, my stars. Apparently somebody gave me a thumbs down. Oh, well. If there wasn't one troll in my world, I guess I wouldn't know what to do with them. Get him a billy goat. Name it Gruff. Oh, goodness. So, happy Easter weekend. I hope y'all are just having a good Easter weekend for those of you who celebrate. For those of you who, let's see, don't celebrate, well, hey, happy weekend. It's Saturday. Well, then, I had a random question. Hey, it's also the celebration of the end of Lent for those of you who gave up something to enjoy Lent or to observe Lent. It means now whatever it was you gave up, you can take back, right? You can re-indulge. Or have you learned a new behavior set and you're ready to, stick to whatever it was you gave up? Actually, that's a good question, So during Lent, a lot of folks do give up something that generally has a lot of meaning to them. Some people give up drinking, some smoking, some fat, some meat, bread. There's a bunch of things that people indulge in that they give up on. Hey, Mary. Throughout Lent. And for some of them, that becomes a habit or a behavioral change that they like to stick to, which I can't say as I blame them. So say you gave up soda for the duration of Lent, and now that Lent is over, it's like, do you really want a soda? Some people are going to say yes, and some people are going to say no, we're going to skip that. I know someone who used to, just an incredible alcoholic. I mean, it was, 100 proof in his veins rather than blood. 100%. And for Lent, he would give up alcohol, which blew me away. It's like this person can't live without alcohol in his system. And for Lent, every year he'd give it up, and then, end of Lent, he'd go back to his fifth of whiskey. And, you'd think that after you've put your body through the insanity of giving up something cold turkey like that, butter rum toffee, yum. You'd think they wouldn't go back to it, but apparently they do. So, it's not what inspired me today, but I kind of go with it anyways. Justin, you're funny. Justin says he's taking up women's soccer. Did you know Idaho has a law on the books or in the works or something where it prohibits transgender women from participating in girls' sports because it gives them an unfair advantage in athletics. And I've got mixed feelings about this, 100%. But now there's like 30 some odd states that are adopting a similar type of law. It's just interesting to me. It's a women's soccer. Sure, Justin, go for it. If you really want to. Let's see here. Sorry, I haven't had enough coffee today. I promise. I will get a little bit more on the ball as the evening goes through. Good night, Drone. So, people give up things all the time. One of the very most common ones is, of course, the fermented beverage. And the fermented beverage is a complicated one all by itself because there are some who absolutely refuse to drink fermented grain beverages. And some give them, will only drink beer or only drink wine or only hard alcohol. And there's just all these different personal rules that people apply to their adult beverages. Most of them are really, truly, personal rules. When it comes to gods that are associated with the fermented beverages, Dionysus is probably the most common or most well-known. Jessica Drama is doing just fine. I actually thought she was coming up here. She was purring around my feet, and she may be playing with Boda. I'm not sure, but she's doing good. She just hasn't, sat on the keyboard lately. Goofy cat. Now that I said that, she'll probably show up. Anyways, Dionysus was the ancient Greek god of God and wine, winemaking, grape cultivation, fertility, of course, ritual madness, because yes, we should all go crazy once in a while, theater, and religious ecstasy. The Roman deity was Bacchus. And so if you're having a bacchanal, often it's, you're having your orgy. Your drunken orgy. Roughly. Wine, of course, was a common beverage in ancient times, in part because, well, it wouldn't poison you like a lot of the water would, because there was so much going on there, so many germs and bugs and stuff in the water, that often it was half wine, half water to help kill any of those contagions. Hold please, speak of the cat and she will appear. High drama. So some people, or some interpretations of Dionysus, is he's an adult, some as a child, and some are he's more androgynous. Yeah, I think I know where the thumbs down came from. There we go. So, just real quick, Angel's Feet in the chat room. It's not that kind of show, so we accept everybody here. Just don't get on your soapbox. This is my show, my soapbox. If you want your own soapbox, have your own show. So, yeah. Anyways, originally, the art that was associated with Dionysus was he was depicted as a mature male. He had a beard, and he was dressed and wearing a robe, which everybody wore robes back then, so it's not really a surprise. And he was wearing holding a staff tipped with a pine cone. Now, through time and interpretation and culture shifting, Dionysus was depicted as a beardless, sensuous, naked or semi-naked androgynous youth. And he may have been described as in womanly or womanish, basically, yeah, androgynous. That's androgynous, yeah. So part of that was the shift in the interpretation of his appearance is because as the Roman culture aged, or the Roman society aged, so did the things that were accepted. So as they became more civilized, a lot of their extracurricular activities became less so. And men or women frolicking with underage individuals was more common. And so that may be why the appearance changed or shifted to one of an androgynous youth, so that it'd be more appealing to broader variety, or a different variety of patrons. Personally, I think that's more of a later depiction. I don't think that was the true depiction. I really think that Dionysus was more the mature type, if for no other reason than he had to have been around long enough to learn how to brew the beer or the wine. He was the son of Zeus and the mortal Semele. So Dionysus was considered put in the same category. Okay, sorry. Chat room. They're rebuking and doing the thumbs down. Yeah, that's great. You guys are funny. Hercules. So Dionysus and Hercules were kind of in the same category. The origin tale is that Zeus, of course, was the wanderer, and seduced the princess of Thebes, or Semele, and then Hera tricked Semele into demanding that Zeus reveal his true form to her. As a mortal, Semele cannot look upon his form without dying, and Zeus managed to rescue Dionysus by sewing him into his thigh. So, again, the Greek deities are they're complicated, without a doubt. Anyways, some other versions of the tale, of course, say that Dionysus' mother was actually Persephone or Demeter, and then and Hera sent Titans to kill Dionysus. So it really, depending on which research you're looking into or which information you're getting, the story changes. Anyways, regardless of the different stories, all of them agree that Zeus sewed Dionysus into his leg. So Dionysus was considered to be twice born and was sometimes called Demeter, which means of two mothers. And then so after Dionysus was born the second time, he was taken to Mount Nysa and the rain nymphs to be hidden from Hera's wrath, because of course it was all his fault that Zeus strayed from Hera. And once he grew up, he learned to cultivate the grapes, and he was the first one to turn them into wine officially. And then he wandered across Asia, teaching the mortals the secrets of winemaking. And after that, he ascended Mount Olympus and became the last of the 12 Olympians. Now, because Dionysus was one of the few Olympians with a mortal mother, and he was raised on Mount Nysa, he was often and continuously seen as an outsider. And so he was occasionally called Eleutherios, which means the liberator, because the wine, music, and ecstatic dance freed his followers from the self-consciousness and restraints of society and allowed them to be on the outside of society. And that was a significant part of those who have followed Dionysus throughout history. And it was considered one of the more subversive natures or trends or parts, because once you get a little tipsy, you're all relaxed and ready for a good time, I guess. Dionysus was also considered the twice-born god because he crossed the boundary between life and death. And so he was also portrayed as the god who crossed the boundary between civilized and the uncivilized, and the known and the unknown. And he was often represented as the god of chaos and the protector of misfits. So even though most people look at Dionysus as just the god of wine and making merry, he was actually a really complex character. And yes, he had to deal with a lot of chaos, but he also protected the misfits, the ones that didn't fit in, the odd ducks. And he just wanted them to get along with one another, and sometimes, in order to help awkward folks get along with one another, you need to liberate them with some libations. So Dionysus has primarily been known as the god of the vine, and he's also been referred to as Bacchus. And Dionysus and Demeter, were the goddess of the corn, were the supreme deities upon the earth. And the reason why is because they weren't hostile towards mankind like a lot of the other deities were. And they're instead both benevolent towards mankind and looking out for mankind and trying to do things to help. And they were often appreciated because and more approachable than some of the other deities because of that benevolence. That's going around teaching people how to make wine and relax. It's a big deal. People really appreciated it. And the reason why he was really good friends with Demeter, the goddess of the corn, is because, well, it's a lot easier to ferment grains if you have grains to ferment. So, yeah. He, part of that chaos and that transformative nature that's associated with him is because he was born of fire and nursed by rain. So he corresponds with both. And the development of grapes. So heat ripens the fruit and water keeps it alive. some of the festivals that are held in honor of Dionysus would be like the lesser or rural Dionysia, the greater or city Dionysia, and the Anthesteria and the Linnea. Those are all just different festivals that were held in his honor in during with the Greeks. Let's see. Occasionally, he was also represented as a faun, Faun, and that's when that was the half man, half goat figure. Let's see. Performances of tragedies and comedies were part of the festivals that were thrown in his honor. Often, lyrical poetry is a way to honor him. Let's see. There is a couple of different stories about him. One is that he was once captured by pirates because he looked like the son of a king. Irony there, right? And so they kidnapped him, and they thought they were going to get a huge ransom once his parents were, to pay for him to come back. But aboard the ship, the pirates were not able to confine him because since he is the son of Zeus, the ropes wouldn't stick. They kept falling off. Kind of hard to contain someone if you can't tie him up, right? He rescued the princess of Crete, Ariadne, and fell in love with her. And then upon her death, Dionysus placed the crown he had given her among the stars. So there's a constellation out there for that. And so generally, though, Dionysus was a kind and generous deity, but he could be occasionally cruel. Pentheus, which is a king of Thebes, tried to stop the worship of Dionysus and tried to put him in jail. And Dionysus just said, "No, that's not going to work. I'm a god. Back off." And he didn't want to. The king didn't want to listen, so he influenced the women in Thebes, and basically they went slightly crazy and thought the king was actually a wild animal, and they attacked him. So even though he was pretty mellow, pretty willing to overlook things, and wanted to just have a good time, basically, if you pushed him, he wouldn't back down and would completely stand up for himself, which is good, There's a lot to be said about, Dionysus and why so many people who are pagans do follow him. It's kind of a good thing. Now that drama walked away, I get the keyboard back. Let's see here. Some of the other deities associated with fermented beverages. There's actually quite a few of them. Let's see. There's silly screen. Meath, who is the personification of drunkenness. Acrotopotes, who was a close companion of Dionysus, which I could see why that would be very, very popular. So the Green Man, who is more Celtic, and and is often considered a very enigmatic or terrifying figure in Europe. He was often associated with good luck and the celebration of all things, which deserves a feast and libations. He's a symbol of birth, rebirth, and renewal, and the coming of spring. So someone who's very much talked about or encountered this time of year as we approach spring, true spring here in the north. And, I'm going to stop there before I get too far into the Green Man. Because, the first half hour is all done, even with the first thumbs down that we got this morning, the start of the show. I don't know that particular person will be back into the chat room, and if not, I don't feel like we're going to be missing much there. So, yes, we'll be right back. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. And tonight we're talking about the fermented deities. No, that does not mean.
Fermented deities?
I said fermented deities. That kind of, I liked it and I went with it. You can't hear the peanut gallery as it walks away. Sorry, guys. Fermented deities. That doesn't mean we squish them and throw them in a pot and, add yeast and, ferment 2 to 6 weeks and then imbibe. No, instead of demented deities, they're the fermented deities. So, yes, the green man is where we were at just before break. And he's considered the symbol of the seasonal renewal, and ecological awareness. And in Wicca, the green man is... Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Clink.
Clink. I needed more raspberries. But it's good. It's a floral. It's sake with raspberry.
Sake.
Don's here, but... so yes, Mr. Don is in the house, but... I don't think the camera is pointed anywhere near in the right direction.
I don't think so either, but that's okay. Doesn't need to be.
All right. So anyways, in Wicca, the green man is often used as the representation of the horned god. He incorporates the aspects of many others, including Kanunos and Pan. So, yeah, just a combination of things. But he's also... often associated with fruits or vined fruits like berries or grapes, and those often are hanging from his beard. And so, yeah, he's just considered, another one of these fermented deities. Let's see. So I'm gonna mess the rest of these up. I've got a list of 10 fermented deities here. So, Mababa Moana Warisa. She is a goddess and a fertility symbol to the Zulu, and including the goddess of rain, agriculture, and beer. And she's very revered in southern Africa. And the story goes back. She took a mortal husband when she could not find a suitable man among the gods, but possibly the reason why she is so revered in southern Africa is because the invention of beer. Beer is apparently really, really important. I don't drink a lot of beer. Sake, yes. Beer, no. So, Ooh. And I have more raspberries. Yum. You can't see Don. He's eating barbecue. Nom, 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 nom. I love raspberries. I can't wait for summer and go berry picking. Nom, nom. So, number 8 here, or number 3 on my list, is Yiti. Y-I-T-I, Yiti. Yiti was a Chinese god credited with the creation of the first rice wine.
Sake!
Yeah, exactly. Sake. Sadly, there's not a lot of information to be found on Yiti except as a slightly vague story about how he created his concoction for a great emperor. The sort of character that always seems to be on hand in good mythology. Nonetheless, slightly more exists on the Bronze Age Chinese drink trade. In 95, an archaeological dig by a Sino-American team unearthed evidence of beer and wine production dating back about 4,600 years. So they've been making wine and beer for a fair bit of time. The wine was made from grapes and rice, not necessarily together, but separately. And it's thought that grape wine fell out of popularity because drinks made from lychees, sorghum, and millet were more common. By 125 BC, grape wine was back in popularity thanks to the travels of the Han Dynasty diplomat Zhang Qian. However, It was only around the time of the Tang Dynasty, around 600 AD, that wines really got popular. Are you ready for a camera? No, you're not ready for a camera.
God, no. Somebody really dinked this one up.
Probably a 4-footed fluffy. Just saying.
Jeez.
Sorry, I'm totally distracted by Don's problems. Julia wants good sake. She never had good sake. The stuff she's had has always been gross.
How's that look?
Out of focus. So is that perfect? Oh, hey, there you are. Everybody say hi to Mr. Don.
Hola.
So, another Celtic deity, Succulus, was revered in Gaul and Lusitania, which is the modern-day Portugal, and was the god of force, agriculture, and beer. He was often shown carrying a beer barrel attached to a pole or a libation cup, and he was also considered a smith, so he sometimes had a hammer also. And the
It's always
entomology...
a good thing to mix with fermentation.
Yeah, well, maybe he needed a hammer to drive the stopper home in his kegs. So the entomology
That's a good bong.
You're such a dork. The etymology of his name is thought to derive from the Celtic word good striker, or for good striker, and the suffix of su being commonly used for something well done, and chelos to strike. So, yeah. Su chelos, that's what it is. So occasionally he appears with his wife, Nanto Suelta, carved in reliefs, where they appear to be the epitome of marital bliss. So apparently you have to have a big hammer for marital bliss.
The bigger the hammer, the better the pounding.
I think it's interesting that his preferred staff has a beer barrel on the end of it. So his walking staff has a beer barrel. Yeah. Oh dear. This is an Aztec deity.
Oh, those are always fun.
Tezcatlipoca.
What?
Tez. His name's Tez. It was the god of pulque, the fermented sap of the maguey plant, or from the agave family. So basically the god of tequila. The drink was the color of milk, somewhat viscous with a sour, yeasty taste apparently, was considered a sacred drink by the Mesoamericans. The coming of the Spanish and Christianity led the drink to become more popular, though it's been in decline thanks to competition from beer since the turn of the 20th century. So the drink was traditionally consumed at the festivals of Mayahuel, the goddess of the maguey plant, and Mixcoatl, the god of the hunt. The pulque would be drunk by the high priest to aid to his connection with the divinities, and more often than not by his unfortunate human sacrifices to ease their passing, as their still beating heart was ripped from their chest.
Yeah, so nice.
Yes.
Gosh.
As with the Swiss alpine grape Humagne, pulque was also given to pregnant women to give them strength. So Tez was also the god of drunkenness and fertility, and was one of the 400 children of Mayahuel, and the discoverer of fermentation, the god Petacatl. So yeah, 400 kids.
Wow, that's prolific.
Yeah, 400 siblings were known as a Senson Toto Tatochten, or 400 rabbits, and were known renowned for their drunken parties.
Wow.
So,
Can you turn out my headset? I think it's number 3. I won't know until you say something.
I'm talking.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. There it is. That's the one. Wow. It just is what it is. No, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. His brothers included, so the author of this particular article is hilarious. So his brothers included Texcatsanotl, Colhoatzancatl, Maquilchatli, Omedatachli. So it says try saying that after a few pints.
Just try saying it in general.
Yeah, no, I can't. So the next one on my list is Ninkasi, the Sumerian goddess. And is considered to be the oldest on the list. And she was the brewer of the gods and taught humans how to brew as well. One clay tablet from Sumer has been translated as a hymn to Ninkasi and is a recipe for making beer involving bread and malted grains left to ferment in a pot. In ancient Mesopotamia, beer was both a staple of the diet and used in religious offerings and events. No imagery, of course, is thought to have survived the centuries, but many Sumerian carvings depict beer drinkers and drinking beer, often through a straw. So the truly cultured Sumerian drinks his beer through a straw. Yes, that's so you don't get foam on your beard?
Sure.
No.
Actually, you actually drink it faster through a straw.
Anyways, her legacy currently lives on at Ninkasi Brewing and Company in Eugene, Oregon, which apparently shares the ancient Sumerian belief that beer is an important and valued part of civilization.
Well, without it, the Irish would have taken over the world, so...
I thought that was whiskey.
Alcohol in general.
Oh.
Guinness specifically.
Lucky. Like my mom used to say, hey, you, kid, come here. She gave up on remembering names. Yep.
Everybody in my family was just called Don.
I know. Apparently my name's Don, too.
That just means we're all in trouble. Actually, I was the only one in trouble.
Some reason that doesn't surprise me.
Anyhow.
You could probably get up to a bit of a mischief.
That is true.
Mischief. So, next on my list is Teshub. So, the Hurrian and later Hittite pantheon is thought to contain over 1,000 different deities. Wow, that's a lot. Luckily, their wine god Teshub was one of the most important. Let's see. So, he's the son of the king of the gods, Kumarbi. He eventually deposed his father, as his father had deposed his, and became king of the gods himself. He was the god of storms and sky, but also of wine, and is often depicted as clasping both a convenient thunderbolt and a bunch of grapes. So nothing says deity love like drunken lightning.
Sure.
He and Zeus probably had a good time. So the Hurrian
It was probably all
Teshub.
just Zeus.
All right. The Hurrian Teshub is thought to have morphed into Tarhun under the Hittites, although he kept his celestial powers and control of the heavens. Interestingly, one of the most prestigious positions in the palace, usually held by a member of the family, who was the Galgastin, or the chief of the wine stewards. However, this rank was largely military in nature and did not make the halter any sort of... I'm not sure what this word, the letters don't make sense. Anyways, it was just a figurehead, but military. So, chief of the wine stewards is a military position. Isn't that interesting?
The giver of beer.
When you put it like that, it makes so much more sense. The wine steward, I've known a few military folk. Never been in the military, but I've known a few, related to several. Some drink wine. Most of them drink beer. A wide variety of beers from a wide variety of nations.
Well, that's what happens when you, travel the world,
Right.
You get to know the beers of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just ask Lucky, as a matter of fact. She says Tullamore Dew, I would imagine, is Irish. She says it's rather nice and strong.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, let me see what she... No, I'm not looking it up. But
Oh, yeah. Tullamore Dew. DEW. It's a triple blend of Irish whiskey.
That's good enough. That's all it needs to be said.
Yeah. And known around the world for its, what was that? Or was it? Smooth and gentle complexity.
Oh, nice. No chasers needed, she says. It's a fine sipping wine. It's not really a wine, but that's okay.
A fine sipping whiskey.
Whiskey. Sipping whiskey.
Mm-hmm. So, next to my list, Osiris. Osiris, yeah. Just as it was for Sumerians, beer was a staple food stuff to the ancient Egyptians.
Food stuff.
And the secret of its production was allegedly bequeathed to them by Osiris. And Osiris being one of the greatest Egyptian gods, Lord of the Dead, consort of Isis, and responsible for the annual Nile floods. His green skin is meant to symbolize rebirth and is proposed as one of the origins of Europe's Green Man. Already referenced. I mentioned that first. That's an interesting link, but okay. There must have been beer involved. Osiris was aided in heavenly brewing, vinifying, and judging of the dead by Tenennet and Shesmu. Tenennet, like Ninkasi, was the goddess of beer, which was made in similar ways to the Sumerian brew. Originally, she was a female goddess associated with bread making, and as making bread was a female chore and bread was used in the making of beer, she became the beer deity.
Nice.
You know, I can kind of see the correlation there.
So you either hand her some hops or you hand her a knife and she'll stop arguing with you.
She knows how to take care of things.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Gosh, where is she now?
Right. Shesmu, meanwhile, is a very different immortal. More demon than god, Shesmu was the punisher of the wicked and the lord of blood. As the sinful dead came into the underworld, Shesmu, who had the head of a lion and temperament to match, would tear their heads off and throw them into his wine press.
Wow.
He would then crush their skulls and collect their blood, which he served as wine to the deserving dead, passing rather more peacefully into another life. A clear example of associating the color of wine and blood and assigning to the former particular life-giving properties, even if it gained in shockingly gory circumstances in this particular case. So, yeah, Shesmu is not the only deity that has associated blood and wine.
Death cult?
Possibly.
That's but crushing their skulls and making wine out of their blood. Oh my gosh.
That's yeah.
Wow. That's about all I can say.
Wow.
How are those raspberries?
We're freaking awesome.
They were expensive.
Of course they were. It's off season.
Gosh.
That's why you get them frozen.
No, then they taste bad.
Well, how do you figure?
Because frozen raspberries have a funny taste.
I think frozen broccoli has a funny taste.
I don't even notice it when I put it in my fried rice.
I rinse it first. Yeah, Justin says he was a nasty dude.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah. Well, you say he's part demon, I guess. So, that makes
And then he fed it to the newly dead.
Yeah. Those who are peaceful.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Violent act to feed to the peaceful ones.
Sure, why not? Yeah. So, next one, Aegir. Like Aether, that A-E, that weird letter combination. So, the Norsemen, or Nordic folks, have a very close personal relationship with drinking.
No.
So, their mythology...
Where do you think berserkers came from?
Bears.
Okay.
So
the Wold's mother.
Yeah. So with the Nordic, Thor, Odin, Loki, all of them.
No.
Imbibe heavily.
No way.
At the halls of their fellow god Aegir. Before betting each other, they can't capture a giant's daughter and set off on an adventure. Okay.
Quite
that
the story.
Sounds like something that would happen after drinking beer.
There's no such thing as hold my beer in that culture. It's like I'll just take the damn thing with me.
Pretty much on a stick.
On a stick. With a straw.
Aegir himself was the god of the waves, but he and his daughters were famous for their ale, which they prepared in a pot which had been stolen from the giant Hymir by Thor and Tyr in a previous adventure. Yeah. The magical properties of the pot were such that it could never be emptied, even by a god, and always refilled with ale as soon as it was drained.
Sounds good to me.
Not that it would stop the Aesir from trying.
No.
Ever. The magical pot of beer. Yeah, I'm surprised there isn't a bar called that somewhere.
The magical pot of beer.
Mm-hmm. And then, Dionysus and Bacchus that I talked about at the very beginning.
Oh, I missed those. There's a Rush song called Dionysus. So it's on the Hemispheres album.
Not surprised that Rush would have a song.
It's like 14 minutes long.
So you have plenty of time to drink your beer, go to the bathroom, and get another beer before the song is done?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, bartender, hit me with a double.
I have to tell you, with the raspberry and the sake,
Yes.
the floral notes are very strong.
That's because it's sake.
I mean, the sake doesn't always have the strong floral notes.
It probably enhances it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you have muddled raspberries. I have whole raspberries.
See,
I wasn't too crazy about the muddled raspberries.
not
Now,
so
the
much.
Hana raspberry, that's crack.
Yeah.
That's crack. I can't find it up here, though.
Yes, apparently we need a new sake supplier.
Actually, we just need a new vintner.
Okay.
We need to get somebody on that.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, do we?
The guy down at Fred Meyer's in Coeur d'Alene.
And they would have the Hana.
Oh, they would have the Hana. They'd have the Momokawa, too.
Mm-hmm.
The Momokawa is really good.
Oh. Beer with coffee?
Yuck.
Ugh.
I was
How would
told
you do
I
that?
was told to buy Sapporo tonight. As a matter of fact, Robin. I bumped into Robin today.
Mhm.
She said Sapporo and sake.
Really?
Mhm.
I thought about telling you to put orange soda in my sake, but
Orange soda.
it'd be like an orange saketini.
What the hell is wrong with you?
A lot of things.
Yes.
Like maybe I should be drinking coffee instead of sake. I don't know.
Why?
I'm tired.
Whatever.
It was a long day today.
Whatever.
I'm stalling. We have like 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. So how was work today? Was it busy?
It was slow.
Was it slow?
Mhm.
It was busy for me. Holy goodness.
Oh, Justin. Oh,
What?
goodness. So Justin says, I was ruined for root beer as a child.
Oh, poor guy.
My mom would make me put my face over boiling mullein root when I would have asthma issues. Turns out I didn't have asthma.
Sure you did. All that warm vapors going up your nose cause asthma.
Something. So last night I opened the box from Two Blind Guys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is what I got.
Oh, a candle.
I got a candle. Smell that candle.
It smells clean. What's it? What is it?
I don't know. There's no label.
It just says Two Blind Guys. They had it poured for them.
Yeah?
It actually smells pretty nice.
I thought so too.
I was wondering, what was the name of the show last night?
Blind paganism or something like that.
Blind Paganism?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
No. Yeah, it just says blackout candle.
Blackout candle? Well, it's black. I don't think you could get blacker.
Yeah.
Unless it was blue.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
But it smells pretty good.
That's
huh?
actually kind of cool. What did you, like, do they have, like, a thing where you say, these are the things I'm interested in? Or
No.
they just said you just signed up, paid them the money, and they just sent you whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they kind of hit you right on.
Yeah, I know.
A black vase with a white candle in it?
Yeah, you can't. Oh, blind faith. That's what I called it.
Blind faith. Oh, gotcha.
Mm,
That's kind of cool. What else did you get?
that's it.
Oh, you just got a candle?
Yep.
You paid $20 for a candle?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, right?
Well, it goes to a good cause.
It does go to a good cause, yes. And, yeah, it does smell pretty yummy. It smells masculine to me.
Ooh, Irish coffee with ice cream. I used to make Irish whiskey shakes, and they were just tremendous. You use O'Malley's. Remember we used to get the O'Malley's?
There's ice cream.
I know. I bought it.
So did I.
Oh. Wow. We got a lot of ice cream. I'm going to not be sleeping for like 2 weeks.
I also seriously stared at the chocolate chip chocolate waffles.
Chocolate chip chocolate waffles.
And I wondered if they would be any good with ice cream.
Oh.
But I didn't get them.
Oh, we have waffle cones.
Yes, there are waffle cones. Are you going to have chocolate ice cream in a waffle cone to go with your sake and raspberries?
Oh. That's a wonderful idea. Wow.
We're off to break.
Huh.
Dawn apparently needs ice cream. Hello, my lovelies. So, Dawn is totally convinced that there are drunken stories about Odin.
Oh, yes.
Stories about
Yeah.
Odin drunk. You Yeah. Anyways, this is Paisley Wild. We're off adventuring into the spaces between. And it is the
How to annoy the god of mischief. That might not be good.
be mischievous. Yeah, it's the Drunken Deities episode. So, anyways, before we move on to my next little bit to talk about, we have some singing bowl
Singing bowl.
that is mostly sober.
Did you tell him about your new bowls?
I have not. Do you want?
I'll go get them.
Okay.
Do you want me to go get them?
Yeah, go get them. So, I'm going to do singing bowl while you go do that.
Okay.
So I mentioned something the other day that I found. Oh, why is there no? Oh, I know why.
What?
Oh, so Lucky told me to. This is Lucky's fault. Lucky told me to mute the microphone, and
Oh, is the microphone bleeding again?
apparently it was bleeding again. So, hi TFR, I'm back. This is Paisley Wild. So, the other day I mentioned out loud that there is this lovely set of singing bowls.
Such a lovely set of singing bowls.
At the store, and it is a lovely set. It was A through G, so it's the full
It's a full chakra.
chakra set. And anyways, so yes, I now am the yes, Lucky, you told me to hit mute. Anyways, I'm the happy owner now of a full set of singing bowls, A through G. So I've got my 5 Buddha bowl. So for those of you on YouTube that can see, there's
I think
the 5.
that's too close.
I think I see
That's the original one. That's the first one. Yeah.
I have my
And
5
what
Buddha
is
bowls.
that? It's a C.
I think so.
It's a root
Yeah, I think it's a root. Anyway, so my 5 Buddha bowl has now been joined by the full set of singing bowls. And yes, it's too close.
Sounds like a damn automaton stacking.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, Mini Me loves playing the singing bowls a lot. There's not enough room between all the technology and stuff.
Pull the drawer out.
I did. Ooh, hey, the slider.
There you go. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Let's have more sake. Hold on.
Who knew that a keyboard tray would make an excellent singing bowl tray?
I suggested it.
Yeah, but before now, you wouldn't have had any idea.
Are you gonna play each bowl?
Yeah, we're gonna play each.
Yes,
Why
nice.
not? So,
Oh, Justin says our kid's got a full set for his wife.
ooh, that's
Nice.
excellent.
That is a good.
It's an investment.
Okay. Those are not cheap. I was amazed. I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, they've got.
And you have a mallet for each hand.
I do.
She can be like a drummer up in here.
So does the little mallet go on the left hand or the right hand?
Depends on which side you have the big bowls on.
Yeah.
Sounds like the wind chime out back.
I know. Unfortunately, they're just not quite big enough that I can do my thing with them without moving.
What is your thing with banging bowls?
And it's just fun.
Oh yeah.
This is the F.
That was good resonance right there.
Yeah, that is.
Nice.
So,
nice.
ooh, you should pull up the chakra list. Do you have the
Okay.
chakra list?
I will pull up a chakra list.
Okay, you do that.
How do you spell chakra? I'm joking.
You totally missed the look I gave you.
Usually, that's what gets me in trouble.
All right, so this is an A. Well, Don's looking it up. So, What chakra is F?
Well, I gotta get there. Hold on.
Oh, I forgot your computer's slow. Oops, bumped it.
Don't bump it.
Didn't mean to.
Chakra bowls. Oh, goodness. It sucks being a site typer and like half drunk.
With the lights off.
With the lights off.
So that was an A.
All right, so.
I suppose I should have started with a C, which is the root chakra, but I didn't. I just picked
No,
up
you
what-
should start at the head chakra. Oh my. That's resonating. What is that?
That's an E.
E.
Yay. Das.
Ugh.
That was a B.
Okay. Justin says I've been trying to play him like drums.
Justin, that's not the way it works. It's not the way any of this works.
It's not how it works.
So that was a D.
So D is navel chakra.
Mm-hmm. So this is a G.
G is the throat chakra. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Wow. That was
Lucky's iPhone's going.
That one's still going. Holy cow. It's got a good resonate. So, and then I'm going to finish with the C, which is...
The C is
root.
the root chakra. Oh, don't touch the mic.
Didn't mean to touch the mic. So, yeah.
Lucky says, sorry guys, I'm sleepy as heck. She said heck. I ate too much garlic. Apparently garlic makes her tired. She'll be sweating it out for a week.
Yeah, it's good for you.
So B,
Mhm.
where's the B? Go B,
So, B.
B.
I like the bigger mallet.
It's heavier. B is crown chakra, starting at the top. Next is A, which is the third eye chakra, the pineal gland. Well, that's kind of nice. And that's typically a 7-inch bowl, depending on what it's made out of.
This one's just not singing as loud tonight. Helps if I don't trip over my fingers.
There you go. Nice and steady. Quit hitting the
I know, right?
microphone.
Well, the microphone's at an angle.
G,
All right.
throat chakra. Oh, that thing resonates.
Talk about changing your dimension.
And an F. F is the heart chakra. Nice. So E plexus.
Don't look at me that kind of voice.
Let it resolve. D. Oh my. D is the solar plexus. And then, of course, C is the root chakra.
So this is not the solar plexus, it's the sacral.
Whatever.
I know.
There you go. So the you know, it's interesting. You know, you can get that you can get the C to just ring. It's like not even, you don't even have to think about it. You know, and that's the root chakra, and that's like your 5 Buddha bowl is root chakra as well. Is that right? Yeah, you can get that thing to sing really easy. And that's actually pretty it makes sense, because like the root chakra is like where it all begins, you know, your connection to the earth, you know, the grounding, you know, and that just rings like you wouldn't believe. So it's really, really cool. You know, it's interesting though. Which is the smallest bowl? Is it the A?
No, the D is the smallest.
The D is the smallest. That's interesting. So D is the navel chakra. I wonder, which was the hardest for you to start ringing?
I think it's the solar plexus, honestly.
Really? The D? Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting, because I generally have zero issues with the root chakra. I think the root chakra is really, really important.
Right, it starts ringing right for you.
I believe in speaking your own truth, so the throat chakra comes out really quick and easy.
Right.
It's seeing as how we have been talking about the deities, having the third eye chakra open and easy to play right now. Not really chakra either. The crown chakra. Marie in chat said that she could feel the energy downloading just right away. So that one doesn't surprise me either.
The crown chakra, yeah, the knowledge in, the knowledge out. So you need the crown chakra and the throat chakra, because the knowledge comes out the mouth. But also crown chakra, ears. So what goes in the ears, the knowledge that goes in the ears comes out the throat chakra. So interesting.
I think it's all fascinating. And I think
Good night, Leo Medic.
I think there's not enough contemporary or Western information on it.
True.
I think for too long the symbols have been considered woo-woo.
Fantastical. Woo-woo, yeah.
Woo-woo. So, yeah. Well, partly Western medicine doesn't really believe in the chakras and the energy points. But I know, like, when my back is too grouchy, I can feel my sacral chakra is just clogged. It's like a feeling. And I wish that I had had singing bowls or access to singing bowls, 20 years ago, because perhaps it could have cleared out some of that energy rather than being stopped up and making life harder.
Yeah. So what do you think you can do with these singer bowls, knowing what you know now, or understanding what you understand now, the knowledge in, knowledge out? How do you think that the singing bowls would help you with the issues that you have?
So, like, I think the root is really important. It's hard for a tree to grow if it doesn't have a good solid root system of some sort. So, I think it's really, 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 really important for the root chakra, the C. From there, I don't know. For me personally, making sure that I've got that energy flowing through my spine and my sacral or chakra joints is important for that energetic flow, so it's not clogging up somewhere. Because I have a feeling that some of my health issues that I've had to deal with are kind of related to that energy not flowing correctly. And I think you could look at a lot of at least here in the U.S., a lot of health issues that have impacted people that energy is clogged somewhere and it has to exit in some way, shape, or form.
So if it's clogged, if you like your crown chakra is clogged and you can't take in that energy or that download, and if your throat chakra is clogged and you can't speak that truth, what do you think that would cause?
I think if your crown chakra is closed off, you're going to be resistant to change and resistant to learning new things.
Ooh, like Tauruses and certain types of
Capricorns?
Oh!
Sorry, are you feeling called out right now?
Did you just shoot me in my third eye?
No, it was the throat chakra. You just got 5-finger punch there.
5-figure Fruit Loops. Anyhow, sorry, go ahead.
And with the throat chakra being bound or having an energetic clog, if you will, I think it's harder to speak truths.
Yes.
Not just other people's truths, but your own truth.
I think your own truth is more important.
And if you can't speak your own truth, you're basically lying to yourself.
Oh.
And if you lie to yourself about, say, for instance, if you say, my diet doesn't have any impact on my health, that's basically you're lying to yourself, and you're not accepting that what you're eating, the food that you're taking in, is negatively impacting your health. Because there's everybody out there eats something that's not good for them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just as guilty as the next person. That's without the sake. But
sake just allows you to tell the truth.
Right? That's what Dionysus used it for. I think like the third eye, in part because Western culture doesn't allow really for a lot of the woo, if you will. Your third eye has been bound or is obscured by Western entertainment.
Western entertainment?
Yeah, like movies and stuff.
Okay.
Because you're not allowed to think for yourself or listen to the silence or go out and experience the world around you.
Because all the excitement's in the cinema and the TV.
Exactly. There's not a lot of, movie magic is way different than real magic. And if you're so engrossed in movie magic, you can't see anything but movie magic. So that's what I think.
So what if? So that's crown chakra, throat chakra,
third eye.
Third eye. So you're talking about B, A, and of course B, A, and G, throat chakra. So B being crown chakra, knowledge in. Third eye, which is A, which is
obscured.
Obscured. And G is the throat chakra. So information in, processing, and then information out. What about heart chakra? What do you think there?
Western society is not taught to love oneself.
Oh. Elaborate.
I mean, look at any of the advertising or even a lot of the media out there. Western media, Western entertainment is often, in Western commercialing, is oh, you need this potion because you're aging. You need this potion because you're getting gray. You need this because your love handles. You need this for
What
your
does that have to do with the heart
erectile
chakra, though?
dysfunction. Because if you can't love yourself
Oh.
and accept yourself as you are, if you think you have to keep fixing yourself, you can't love yourself. It makes it harder for you to love others and accept others for who they are.
Interesting.
So I think heart chakra has a lot to do with acceptance of oneself and others.
Oh. Wow. Wow. That's interesting.
It's a little heavy for the heart, but yeah.
It is, but it's. I think you're right. I think you're on the right track there. So that is the 9-inch bowl ish, 9 inches, because these are hammered and I'm looking at a crystal set, so it's slightly smaller or slightly different, I should say. What about the solar plexus chakra?
So your solar plexus is where we breathe.
Okay.
And I did a show a while back about breathing with intention or intentional breathing.
Right.
And oddly, this even came up at work today. If you don't breathe correctly, you're not getting enough oxygen in and you're not getting enough waste air out.
So does that affect your crown chakra? Because your crown chakra is your mind, but your third chakra, your eye chakra, your third eye chakra.
How many people out there wearing masks in the last year have had a headache?
Ooh.
Often that means the air in has been compromised in some way, shape, or form. And it's a slight lack. It's not necessarily a huge lack. It's a slight lack of oxygen to the brain. And oxygen to the brain means it's not soaking up the information correctly. It's not processing.
Less processing.
Not processing the information correctly. Yep. And so, yeah, breathing with intent. You know, the meditative breathing, I think, is huge. I know. So, for instance, I'm a music geek. I was a band geek and choir and all that.
You were like one time in band camp?
Right.
Excellent.
Yes, with the flute. And anyways, we're taught in music that you want to breathe with your
Cycle
abdomen.
breathing. Right, your diaphragm.
With the diaphragm, exactly.
The muscle that moves the lungs.
Yeah, your solar plexus area. Because if you're breathing and moving your shoulders to breathe, to take your deep breath, you're not getting the air in correctly.
On the top of your lungs.
Right.
Not the bottom of your
And
lungs.
so if you're not breathing deeply enough, honestly, you're not clearing all that out. You can have fluid buildup in your lower lobes of your lungs if you're not breathing deep enough.
Ooh, you're scientific.
Which can lead to things like pneumonia.
Asthma.
And if all of that keeps happening, that'll negatively affect your health. And so, yeah, good breathing is huge. It's important. And not just the shallow breaths, which we've all had to do in the elevator because people are not nice to the people in their vicinity because elevators smell.
You mean like crop dusting?
Yeah, crop dusting. Garlic, onions,
right. Right.
BO. Oof, that ish. So yeah, you got shallow breathing, sure, or big truck overcompensation with the diesel that doesn't really need it because the heaviest thing they've ever pulled is their daughter's Barbie Jeep.
Oh my goodness!
You don't really need a.
Nice.
You don't really need a Super Duty, but
you don't need to compensate for other things,
right? The diesel smoke that's real, or the diesel fumes, and I know that I breathe shallowly when I because it just stinks to me. I don't want to inhale that. Right. Or the dog bombs, boxers bomb. I'm serious.
Boxer bombs.
Oof. So there's your solar plexus.
Wow. Okay. So, well, while we're on it, so solar plexus and then navel chakra. What's the purpose?
Okay, navel and solar plexus. You're talking about the sacral chakra.
So E is the solar plexus, and D is the navel chakra.
So, this one is often related to fertility.
Really?
And because a lot of your reproductive gear, regardless of gender, excuse me, is located,
in that lower abdominal area.
Yeah, the lower abdominal area.
Sorry, that reminds me of an Anthrax song, but anyhow.
Yeah, in that vicinity, but also movement. Think about it. If in that space that's in line with your navel. Guess what is
gosh.
Break. We'll pick this up when we come back.
All right, sure.
Yeah. Yes, we shall.
Sisters of the shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea.
The
I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, all the cauldron cries, that singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and of Father in the tree.
So that is the heart chakra bowl. It is an F, a tone F. So there you go, Aussie. It's really important, and I know what you said in the chat. I read that. And I really hope at some point along the road that you travel, Aussie, that that breaks loose and it opens up. It's really important to find love, whether it be in yourself or someone else. It's really important to be able to find love. And usually you have to start with the self-love. You have to, and I don't mean the gross stuff. I mean, well, it's not necessarily gross. She almost spit. But the self-love, the self-care. And that's where you have to start. You can't look outside yourself. You have to look inside yourself. And I hope, that you eventually find that. So there you go. And I'm being a drunken fool, but I really do mean that. And I'll remember it tomorrow. So no big deal.
Wow.
Do you have something to say?
I just sake raspberries are a little stronger than sake.
There you
sorry.
go. Nice.
Side note.
Wow. So
Powerade chaser. So, we were talking about the sacral chakra.
Oh no. Actually, I was talking to Justin about the size of his truck.
All right.
He says he has a big truck.
You cannot lie.
Apparently not.
Okay.
I have a big truck and I cannot lie. Do you know I know his cousin? I know Mix-a-Lot's cousin. It's amazing. Anyhow.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's more like
6
3.
degrees of Sir
And
Mix-a-Lot.
3 degrees of Don Longbeard.
Anyhow.
Anyway, so yeah, the sacral
congratulations.
chakra. What was that?
The last bowl we played
Sacral,
was the navel, actually,
Yeah.
because we were talking about breathing.
No, we talked about that one already. That was the solar plexus.
No, that was...
Yeah, solar plexus. We breathe with our... Because if you get hit in the solar plexus, you can't breathe.
So did you play the D already? Oh, I think you did, yes.
Yep, I did. So,
Okay.
next on the list was the sacral, which is below the belly button. So that's...
Play
your-
it. Play it. The D?
Yeah.
Come on, make use of this set.
I am, but they just take up so much room. I need a bigger desk. Sorry, the microphone just is at the wrong angle for this.
Yeah, well, turn it down. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Last time I did that, I dropped it.
There you go. Nice. And that is the navel chakra.
So, that's associated with fertility, which is kind of a big deal. But because fertility and your reproductive parts, often if they are malfunctioning or not working very, very well, it can negatively impact your health all the way around. But also, in your pelvic area, That's where your hips are connected to your pelvis.
Hips are connected
And
to your pelvis
yep,
bone.
which is often associated with movement. If you're not able to get up and walk a block or two, that means you will, for whatever reason, and I know not everybody can because of health issues, but if your movement is reduced, and here in Western society, and I'm poking my finger a lot at Western society tonight, I think, because Western society is encouraged to sit and watch TV, play video games, and not to go outside, especially this
Not
last
be
year.
proactive, not active.
Not active,
much
not
less
even proactive. Yes.
Yeah.
And even though, like, Mini-Me going to school, she, there's ride a bike to school week, or they encourage different activities, which is good. Society as a whole here in the U.S. is encouraged to be entertained and not think for themselves. And when you're being encouraged to, be entertained, you're not you're moving. You're being idle. And what is it? The
Idle hands.
Idle hands
are
are the devil's
playground.
Yeah, and
Workshop.
so
Yeah.
you're not encouraged to move. Your health is going to be negatively impacted. And so if you are concerned about your ability to get up and move, perhaps it is your sacral chakra that's been compromised because of that inability to move. Now, when my back is grouchy, at least prior to my nerve ablation that I had in April, a lot of that energy would bind up. I could feel it, and I've described it as like this knot of angriness. That angry energy is just stuck in my lower back, and I wish I had some way to just let it go. And so I wish that sound therapy was encouraged more within our society. Because,
but that's such an Eastern thing.
And
I understand the word as but.
So what? So what if it's Eastern society? If the magic works, why not do it?
Right.
And sound therapy can be, we've all used it. How often have you listened to a song because someone broke up with you, or so you're pissed at someone, or you're tired of your job,
Morissette.
or take this job and shove it? That's not Alanis Morissette. School's out for the summer. Again, that's not Alanis.
That's actually Ramones.
So there's quite a few different musicians out there have talked about being done with that kind of thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So it's just sound therapy, I think, is a huge thing that we have been self-medicating with, if you will, with some of the music we listen to. And if we were to listen to something that was better for us sometimes, is yes, Beastie Boys is interesting to listen to sometimes.
Yes, it is all the time.
But not necessarily always good for us.
Oh, but that doesn't matter.
Okay, Jethro Tull.
Yes.
He was just a character in the band.
He was.
Anyways, so, but self-medicating when it comes to sound therapy is not any better for us than self-medicating with drugs.
Say that again.
Self-medicating with sound therapy, like some of the music we listen to, is not any better than self-medicating with drugs.
I disagree. I'm going to say I disagree, because sound medicating isn't
well
altering the reality.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of times with the sounds and the music that we're listening to, have lyrics that are...
But you just went from lyrics to sound, which is tone, which is different.
I know, but if you're listening to that, there's, what is that song?
WAP.
there's a song. Basically, their life has gone sideways, and they're doing oxycontins, and they're buying the
Oh
sawed-off
yeah,
shotgun or
God, I
whatever it
hate
is.
that. SOS. Yeah, it's called
Okay.
SOS.
That song has the catchiest doggone beat ever, and it sounds
and
very
it's the
upbeat.
crappiest song in the
Woody,
world.
woody, woot, and happy go. I'm gonna sing it, and you hear kids singing along with it. And then you stop and listen to the lyrics. So even though sound therapy is good for you and all that stuff, the words change the message from being positive to negative. Because those words suddenly become, they're flooding into the brain, the one that can't think for itself because it's closed off already. And it's like, ooh, I'm being programmed to like Oxycontins and buy shotguns.
You're getting deep.
I know, I'm not very pagan.
It's okay.
We're supposed to be flighty people. Ooh. But no. Yeah, it's instead of being, allowing that sound therapy to heal us, is being used as a means to negatively impact us.
Oh.
With some of the lyrics that are being used out there.
Right. So do you okay. I'm not going to get into that, but
We only have 15 minutes, and we have to do
we
the
only
root.
have 15 minutes
Yeah.
already?
We have to do the root chakra yet.
Okay, so root chakra. All right, let's get to the root chakra.
Root chakra.
We've talked about that before. It is the C.
The C note.
C note.
Everybody needs a good C note.
I need a lot of C notes. Play it.
Making it rain.
Play it. Making it rain. Yes. C notes. Just play your bootable.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But you're showing off your set of.
I was going to, but the bootable's faster than. Whoop. Stay. I'm telling you, it was the raspberries.
I'm agreeing. Wow.
Interesting side note is that the hammered bowls have a longer resonating
Sustain,
time,
yeah.
and are more sustained than the ones that are cast.
You're absolutely right. I agree with that. I agree.
So, C note, root chakra.
So find that C note on the hammered bowl. Because the 5 Buddha bowl is a poured bowl. Is that correct?
Yes.
The answer is yes. She said yes. She said yes. 15 years ago.
Yep.
Are you sure that's a C note? Are you sure the Buddha bowl is a C note? That is the root chakra. It is the C note. And, it's a 12-inch bowl normally, depending on what it's made out of. It's really the grounding note, isn't it?
It is. And when I've talked about guided meditation in the past, and who knows, maybe there's Meditation Mondays coming up. Check out PaisleyWild.com for future updates.
Nice.
So, in when I've talked about guided meditation, you're visualizing your roots going down into the earth to release the negative energy that you're carrying around, which we all do. Because think about it, Mother Earth has bigger shoulders than we do. She can take it.
Yeah.
And she can also give you that lovely, awesome energy back that you need. And so if you don't have that good, clear, energetic path with Mother Earth, if you will, because maybe you live in a concrete jungle.
Concrete jungle, exactly.
It's a lot harder to connect with your Earth.
Yes.
D says, pass the hammered bowl. Exactly. And if it's harder for you to connect with your roots, either literally or figuratively or familially, yeah, that's a good word. It's harder to move forward. So, for instance, with your family and your family roots, if you have a hard time connecting with them or you're estranged or you don't know them, it's harder to move forward on your path of life until you've resolved that.
Well, do you think that has anything to do with the crown chakra, the B note? Because you have to be able to take in the knowledge of what they're trying to say, and then third eye to realize what's going on.
All right, so look at a tree.
Okay.
So all over the world, we see most trees have their roots in the dirt, soaking up water and nutrients and
Energy,
such,
yeah.
and they've got nice, the branches are good, and and the leaves are solid, and they're soaking up sunlight and energy from the sky, and it's balanced. And generally speaking, a root system is about the same diameter around the base of the tree as the branch system. So if the branches cover an acre of ground, like some of the
that's a huge tree.
old growth oaks,
Sequoias.
or sequoias,
Yeah.
then the root system is going to be very, very similar. Generally speaking. Now the taproot is the longest
Yes.
because it's going down to try to reach a source of water. Just like the trunk is the longest above ground, it's to, growing with height. And we've all seen trees existing in nature where they're growing out of a bloody rock.
Right.
Where's the dirt, for crying out loud?
In the side of a mountain that's
side of a mountain.
infested with goats.
Yeah, it's the only thing that can, stay on the side of a hill of the mountain is a fly because it's stuck there in a spider's web. But, or, maybe the root system has been compromised, and so, like, in flooding or something, and they've got a taproot and half the roots are in the ground, everything else is exposed to air, but the crown of the tree is healthy and glorious. So for a while, that'll work. But eventually, the root system will have to grow further into the dirt. Or if you look at a tree that's growing out of a rock, it can only get so big because the root system can only get so big.
Right.
And then it starts to die. And it's just limited in size. It can't grow any bigger, just like bonsai trees.
Bonsai.
Mm-hmm. Or your plants, your house plants.
Right.
If they're confined to a pot,
Root-bound.
become root bound. They can,
Yep.
they can only get so big. Now, of course, some prefer to be root bound, but that's a different show entirely. So you have to have that healthy balance of, crown, branches, and roots in the ground to absorb the nutrients and the elements of life. And so if you're compromised in either your internal root chakra or your crown chakra, it's harder for you to have a fulfilled life. And it may be that is your lesson in this life before you move on to the next.
Oh, nice. Because we've talked about that before, is signing those soul contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Signing those soul contracts to come back to Earth, to learn those teachings that we've missed before. And wow, you just like went into another show.
Mm-hmm.
The root chakra through the navel chakra to the solar plexus, to where we sing, we emote.
Mm-hmm.
We say the words that mean something. The heart chakra filters the hate from the life, the love, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The throat chakra that limits those hopefully hateful things,
Mm-hmm.
and talks those truths that we talk about through the crown chakra, that come through the third eye chakra and filter through the throat chakra. It's interesting that you say that. I think, a good grounding and knowledge, crown chakra, root chakra, creates that balance that we eventually need to speak our truth. Whether people like it or not is irrelevant, because it's our truth, not their truth.
Exactly. Well, think of it like a septic system.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Shit
gonna
in,
go
shit
there.
out.
So often in your septic system, you flush the toilet, it leaves the toilet, and it looks like everything's going right. And often at the end, the water is going in the waste treatment facility or is going into the drain field, and it looks like everything's going right.
Gray water, black water.
But sometimes between the toilet and where the water is leaving the system,
You have a leak.
or a blockage,
A blockage.
or a leak.
A fatberg, as they say.
Yeah, somebody flushed a face mask.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, no, it's happened.
Yes.
Probably repeatedly. So, just because it looks like things are going in correctly and are leaving correctly doesn't mean that there's, some things hanging up on the in between. But it's a lot easier to figure out what's going on in between if things are operating correctly
Right.
at the top and bottom. So if you flush the toilet and things are leaving, well, it's got to go somewhere. And you're like, well, it's got something going on, but I flushed the toilet and things leave, and there's water coming out the other end. So there's an issue in the middle. Your logic kicks in, and you call the plumber, and he comes out and fix it. By the way, plumbers are worth every dollar you pay
They are
them.
worth every damn cent.
Does that mean they're cheap? No. Are they bloody expensive? Yes. Are they worth it?
Yes. God,
Period.
the gods made mechanics and
Plumbers and
plumbers.
linemen.
For a reason.
Yes.
Rely on them.
Yes. We might not tip them, but by golly, I will happily leave a good review. So, or a bad one. The waste must flow. Anyways, so.
Muad'Dib.
But anyways, yeah. If you've got your top chakra and your bottom chakra are open and communicating and flowing, it's a lot easier to get that energy moving through you. Now, sometimes that energy is going to move a little slow. Maybe you're sick, you're having an off day, because we all have those.
Horrible days.
They happen,
horrible.
sadly. But, even with that, the energy is still flowing. The knowledge is still flowing. I mean, it'll happen. And it's just allowing it to happen and remembering to allow it to happen. We can't just stop soaking up the energy or soaking up the knowledge. And in a way, a lot of Western civilization and society tells us to stop soaking up knowledge and instead soak up other people's opinions or popular beliefs. And I think that's what's happened a lot with a lot of the misdirection that we see in our news here in the U.S., where it's not news anymore, it's opinions. Unfortunately, it's not, factual. It's fictional, or it's based upon someone's opinion. And because of that, we don't have a lot of the facts to make the right decisions. Instead, we're given, the interpretation or somebody else's interpretation of fact, which is seen through the lens of their own experience, their own egos. And sure, that opinion may be their truth.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's my truth.
Well, see, but somebody's opinion can never be a truth, because an opinion is based on something that's been inserted into them, whether it be through mainstream media or whether it's through broken home. So I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand where you're coming from.
So.
Interesting. So that's actually really, really cool and great
Your
and wonderful.
1 minute warning.
So here's the thing. I would like to end the show, if you would allow me, because it is your show. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I just take over. You have on top, right over there, the singing bowl for F.
Mm-hmm.
Can you grab that, please? You have the large mallet.
Yeah.
I have the small mallet.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have the A bowl, which
Okay.
is, so you have the F bowl, which is the heart chakra. And I have the A bowl,
Mm-hmm.
which is the third eye chakra. And, you know, here's the thing. Mr. Aussie, a tiger, who's been a long time listener of the portal and a long time supporter and listener of the Spaces Between, has asked what they are. Can someone please tell me the note of the third eye chakra? And
It's a-
that,
it's a
as I
B.
said, I'm sorry?
It's a B.
The third eye chakra is the A,
Is it A?
which is the bowl that I currently hold.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought it was
also, he asked about
Oh, third eye. Yes.
the heart chakra, which is the F, which is the bowl that you have. And I thought maybe we could send off this episode.
All right. So, real quick, merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. We'll see you next week at 9 p.m. on Friday. Here's some music. It's harder.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old.
Have a good night, all.
I'm